Hi, my name is Malcolm Rounge, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about whether or not student athletes should be getting paid or not. So, when I did my own research on this topic, I know it's been talked about for many years on whether or not they should be getting paid or not, but when I did my own research, I found that 480,000 people actually, or students actually participate in sports each year. And this is not a small number, this is a big number, and that raised a lot of issues because it concerns a lot of people and, deals with a lot of people. So when looking at it, I feel that the problem is that many of these students are so busy doing their daily life of being a student, of doing homework, group assignments, group activities, just stuff like that, and doing exams too. But on while they're doing that, they also have to manage practice, traveling for games, just stuff like that. That's kind of hard to manage, and this is a very serious problem because many of these students, um, you know, they don't come from the best background or it's kind of a struggle that they even got there in the first place. And I actually found out that 86% of these student athletes live below the poverty line. So this means that they don't come from wealthy backgrounds or something. So they're doing this sport to potentially make more money or potentially better themselves in that aspect. So not only will them being compensated for their efforts for the school, it'll benefit them, but it'll also help out the families and the people that help them get through school. And as I said before, it's hard trying to manage, going to school and doing and work. And we could all feel for that because, I work as a student and I have to, do exams and assignments. And I really do feel as if it is kind of hard to manage. And I can't even imagine if I had to go to practice or, go to games too. It's just a lot to handle. So what I feel is this, since they can't, work or do anything outside of schoolwork and their sport, that they should be getting paid, whether that's through like compensation each semester, or they should just be able to make money outside of school by signing autographs or doing endorsements or just making money off of their image or their likeliness in that sense. And so the NCAA actually does have a rule which states that student athletes can't make any additional money off of their likeliness or their image. And this wasn't seen as a couple of years ago. NCAA actually had a football game, and they didn't really use they used the names for these students, but they weren't providing extra money to these students for using their names. So NCAA was just making profit, even more profit than they already are, making more profit off of these students without compensating them or giving them any type of income because of that. So I feel that the NCAA should uphold this law and allow students to make money off of their image or their likeliness in that case, or students should be able to be paid each semester based on their family background and how much revenue they generate for the school. So as I feel it should be like tiers. So if you play like football for like Alabama or LSU, obviously you're going to be making more revenue and more profit for the school because it's going to be on national television. People could buy jerseys if they want, and because of this, this means that these student athletes, I think, should be able to make a little bit more extra money since they can't, provide for themselves or their families with going at like a regular work as a grocery store or something like that. And what I thought was very interesting is that California actually passed a rule in recent weeks stating that college athletes can now hire agents and sign endorsement deals. And I feel as if this is a very good step in the right direction. And California being such a powerful and big state, this could lead to other states following in its footsteps and really, ex- adapting to this idea of student athletes being paid because it is kind of a thing in the past where these student athletes really should be making some money off of their name and their likeliness. And paying athletes is a touchy subject, but I feel as if this is a more of a positive thing than a negative thing because these student athletes will now be compensated and I guess rewarded for the efforts that they have been giving to the sport. It takes a lot of dedication to be part of a team, and you got to go through a lot. You got to bond with your teammates. You got to do a lot. And it's like a group community. You got to do a lot for these schools and these sports, so they should be getting rewarded and compensated for these things. And even though there are a lot of positives for this, there are some negatives with paying student athletes. And one of the negatives is that as I said before, there are 480,000 student athletes, and that is a lot. And so it's going to be kind of hard to try to come up with a elaborate and good system to pay these students in a way where it's fair and equal. And as I said before, I believe as if it should be, and it's a big thing. So I understand it's not going to be a 6 month solution. This could take a couple, like 1 to 5 years, to actually implement this, not foolproof, but this um, elaborate plan that will work to help paying these student athletes. And um, what I do feel is that since California has actually taken a step in this situation and said that we will be allowing students to pay their student athlete, or not pay their student athlete, but make some money off their endorsements and hire agents and stuff like that. That this is a step in the right direction. Hopefully, the NCAA will see that this is a problem and it is going to need to be resolved. And hopefully, this will lead to the NCAA allowing all students to be compensated and make money for them, not only themselves, as I said, but for their families, because it's they do need to provide for themselves, but they also need to provide for the families that are helping them go through this, not transition, but go through this process of being in a collegiate sport, because not everyone has the opportunity to be in a play for a sport for their college. So this is a big thing. And so these student athletes should be able to make some money to provide for themselves and the people that are helping them through this. And this is how I feel about whether or not student athletes should be paid or not. Thank you.